Yo guys, what's going on? This is Yokiman here. Welcome back to another episode of my Football Manager 2019 save here with CSKA Moscow. And as you can see there in the right hand corner, we've won the league. We actually won the league. I can't believe it. I did say in the last episode that the draw against Spartak Moscow was very good. And I don't know what happened. As soon as we drew with Spartak Moscow, they just kind of forgot how to play football. We've had a tough time with injuries and stuff, and I cannot believe it. I cannot believe we're sat here, Season 1 with CSKA Moscow. I never expected this to happen, and we've won the league. We've won the league Season 1 by 4 points, but it could be by more. But let's just take a quick look at Spartak Moscow and see how they fell off. So this is the scenario for Spartak Moscow. They've not won in a while. It's been a very rough time. They've been the bottle job after the 3-3 and the 0-0 to Rup. They've just drawn a lot. They drew against Akmat. And they drew against Jenslev, who had a player sent off in the 35th minute, and they still drew against them. And with them drawing, that meant that we won the title. And I'm really surprised, 100% surprised. It's definitely invigorated me. I've really enjoyed Season 1 here in Russia. It's been difficult trying to record 2 YouTube series. That's definitely not easy. But it's been really good fun this season in Russia, and I can't believe it. We've won the league, lads. So if that doesn't deserve a thumbs up, I don't know what does. But this is the schedule for us since we played Spartak Moscow. We lost to Krasnodar, and when we lost to Krasnodar, I was like, oh no, we've just bottled it. We've thrown it away. We best make sure we beat Ural and Angie. And then I looked at the results, and Spartak had drawn. And then I knew if I beat Ural that I'd have won the title. And then to see that I beat Ural and that they drew again. So I was just like, wow, this is insane. You couldn't really write this. I mean, we hit the ground running towards the end of the season after the disappointment of the Russian Cup semi-final, which Dynamo Moscow then went on to win against Spartak Moscow. For us to do this and perform like this it's ridiculous. But at the same time, it's fantastic. I genuinely can't wait to upload this video for you guys because I was successful at Football Manager. We did it Season 1, I can't believe it. I mean, especially over there, if you're not watching the Braga save, go check it out. We're doing similar things over there. It's crunch time, actually, in that season. But I'm looking forward to pre-season here, actually. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we could do with the team. But let's play Angie today. And the game doesn't really matter, so we might even lose it. I find that the players' heads go down once you've won what you need to win. And then we'll assess the squad and see what potentially we may do next season. We have to remember that we have Azmoun coming in next season as well, the Iranian Messi, so we should be even stronger next year. Right, so I've made a couple of changes to the squad. I mean, the most noticeable one is the youngster coming here on the left-hand side. Vitaly is actually coming to the team and played quite well. If you look there, 6 appearances, 3 off the bench, and he scored 2 goals. Like, he's actually having good performances, so I don't know why, because his stats really aren't that good, but he's having good games. And also, he brought in Kuchev. I mean, he sucks, you know. We've got some really poor Russian young players here. I mean, they may be good in real life, but they're not portrayed that well on Football Manager. I mean, I do like his flair, and his determination isn't bad, but at 21, I don't expect him to grow enough to ever really impact the squad, but why not give him an opportunity in this kind of game? And apart from that, we're pretty much all minor rotation, but not big rotation, and I've kept Hernandez and Chalov up front. Hernandez is a player who I was fully committing to get rid of, but he's actually had a really good season, so we'll probably keep him around. I mean, 19 goals, he's definitely performing well, so I can't really... I mean, when you're performing this well, how do you get rid of a player? I mean, he's still only 28, so he's not exactly old. He's not on the world's most ridiculous contract. 35k isn't too bad. It is up next season though, so we'll probably have to re-sign him, but he seems to be able to do the business in this league, and I think he's definitely been the most consistent striker when he's found spots to grab the goals. So I think we probably do need to keep him around, unless some ridiculous bid comes in. With Azmoun coming in, I don't know how well he's going to do, but unless some kind of ridiculous bid comes in, then we may contemplate it. But I think for Season 2, considering we don't have, a reckless amount of money, and we definitely need to improve in other areas more than our strike force. We've proven we can score goals this season, then we probably will keep him around. Right, so with the team talk done, highlights set to key, this will be the last game of Season 1. Now, I know I'd had a small mindset of changing with this series, either lessening episodes or even stopping it for a little while. Now, of course, when the internet comes back, well, when I get the actual correct internet to stream again, streaming will be back on, will be not at the forefront because I am really enjoying these Football Manager series. So I am going to continue with CSKA. It will not be anywhere near as frequent as Braga, but I am going to continue with it, and it will be consistent. And what you've got to remember is soon Braga may be finished depending on what happens in that save. So I want to keep this one going because I am really enjoying it while the stadium is empty. I thought Angie used to be a good team or something. But we're 1-0 up in a game that really doesn't matter. Will we get given the trophy in this game? I don't think we got it in the last game. Magnussen, I need some free kick takers because my centre-backs take free kicks. There's a few players that we really need to look at potentially bringing in. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination, if other teams strengthen, that we're a strong squad. Adel Hernandez, no. That we're a strong squad, I have to be honest. I think we're quite weak, and I think I'm going to struggle to keep hold of Fernandez, the right back. And it's a real big issue because he's Russian, and I was having to have 5 Russian players in the first 11. It would be helpful if he was going to be one of them. Chalov. It helps when Chalov's fit because he's kind of, at the minute for me, he's first name on the team sheet. Adel Hernandez, he's first name on the team sheet because I really want to progress him. But it's very helpful for us to have a good young Russian striker that can score. Vlasic with the corner, and nothing will come from it. But at least we tried there. But anyway, guys, I'd love your opinions on maybe some players we could look at. Again, I'm going to try and look Russian. I'm hoping some good regens have come about, Russian regens, and maybe we can scope them, pick them up. It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be very tough for us to find good Russian players in the first couple of seasons, potentially, because, our intake was really poor. Udkin. Actually, though, some players that I didn't expect to play well have played well, so there is always that. But I think when it comes to Europe, we crashed out. We didn't even drop into the Europa League, so we really need to improve in terms of that. This squad it's got no depth, realistically. Adele, how did he miss that? He's got no depth, so we definitely need to start looking at players to improve our depth. Because I'd really like to start improving in the Champions League. Won the league this year. If we could do the same again next year would be nice. But I definitely want to improve on the Champions League as Chalov gets his 10th goal of the season. Nice. Thank you, Fedor. Back in the team after injury. I'm happy with that. Vlasic is a must-sign. We'll look at him after the game, but he's a must-sign, I think. If we can get him, he's going to be expensive. It'll be interesting to see who we can bring in on loan. Again, we did sign a player, actually. I will show you that after the game is finished. We have made a signing. How is Spartak doing in their last game? They're winning. It's an own goal, but they'll take it. I'm sure they will. Zenit winning as well. It'll be interesting to see who goes down from the Russian league and who comes up. I'm not too well versed with the teams in the lower leagues of Russian football, but we'll soon find out. Angie, I think, are going down. Okay. I don't know if there's an automatic and then a playoff. Fernandez. Udkin. Oh, what a goal. Daniil. I have to be honest, he's not been bad. It's his first goal, but he's not been bad for us. He's played quite well when he's come in, rotation-wise. So, if he can perform in the Russian league, then it's going to be a homegrown issue, I think, for us when it comes to the Champions League. I always have that issue, though, because you need, I think it's 4 players that have been trained at the club from the age of, I can't remember when it was like 17 up until 21. And I don't think we've got that right now. Let's bring Lasana and Dion. Let's bring Ivan on. Let's leave it at that. Inacio is a player who I might actually sign if they drop his value. We've got him on loan this season. If they drop his value, he'd be a really good rotation for us, a rotation player for us to have, because he has had a good season when he's played. I know he's not played ridiculous amounts, but 15 goals, 9 off the bench. 15 goals, 15 appearances, 9 off the bench, 3 goals, 4 assists, average of 7.28. He's had a good season. It was a very good loan. And I think if they're going to keep the budget the same, I don't know if it'll change because we won the league, but I think they'll keep the budget the same. It's about 12 million. If we could get him for 1, that'd be very helpful, because we're going to have to be very clever, I think, with our transfer signings. Have we got another goal in us? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, we're going to have to be clever with our transfer signings, I think, because we don't have much money. I'd love to bring Rasmus Falcon, but him missing the rest of the season was really painful for me. Let's bring on Krill, the youngster. I think that's going to be it. 3 minutes added on. I can't see anything else happening here. I think we will get the full-time whistle. And then that will be Season 1 in the books. Ponce. Oh, great save by Akin5. I do need to find another. I'm determined that our goalkeeper will always be Russian. But I need to find the next Akin5. Because he's getting on. He's had quite a good season, but he is getting on. So we need to find a good young Russian goalkeeper for us to train up. Because I feel like if you have to have 5 players on the pitch, have your goalkeeper be one of those 5, and then you only have to find 4 outfield players. Now I should always, in my head, a centre mid and 3 defenders is kind of where I'm at, but it depends what we can do. But when you've got Chalov on the pitch, you only need 2 defenders, a centre mid, and you've got your striker. So we've not struggled too much this season. I am looking at Mbulin, a player I had at Lyon in that save. He looks pretty decent. He could play left back. But I haven't decided yet. He's Russian, so that really helps me. Right, so that is the season done, and I am very, very happy. We finished top of the table with 71 points, and again, I'm going to say this about 19 million times in this episode. I am extremely shocked that we've managed to do this. Moscow did win in the last game, and I'm expecting them fully to improve as a team for next season. Lokomotiv and Dynamo as well, because they haven't had great seasons. And then you've got Zenit and Rubin as well, who need to up their game. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams develop in the league, if they improve. I'm not sure how that happens, but it'll be interesting to see. Let's take you and show you the first, the signing that we've made. So it is nobody new. It is Rodrigo Becchiao. He's been here this season on loan, had a good season, and I decided we sign him. He's marking 15, tackling 14, heading 13. He's not a bad player. I like his determination. I like his teamwork and his work rates. That's my kind of player. And his physicals are all pretty decent. So for me, it was just a no-brainer when I saw that we could pick him up for a decent deal. His average rating of 7.32 this season. He's been key and pivotal to the central defence. And I think we picked him up for 1.8 million. So for 1.8 million, I couldn't really turn my nose up at it. He's our 3rd best centre-back. So really, for me, it was perfect. I like to have 4 strong centre-backs. We've got 3 at the moment, but there was no way I could let him go. 1.8 million realistically isn't much money either, so he is in. So it is interesting to see that we've been given 5.22 million for achieving first place in the Russian Premier League. Let's take a quick look at the finances then. So the finances stand at a steady 15 million with 10 million in the budget. But what we've got to remember here is there's going to be the joyful situation where we get that Champions League money. Now, I can't remember what it is, but it's something like 25 million or 22 million or something like that, I think, for just getting into the group stages. And we're already in the group stages. So financially, for next season, we should be really good. But I don't anticipate we'll get any more than the 10 million we've been given for this season, which is fine. It just means we're really going to have to work some magic, kind of strengthening the squad to at least make it so that we drop into the Europa League. We were given a rough Champions League group, but I need to make sure I at least get Europa League football when it comes to Europe. So if we just take ourselves to have a quick look through the squad and maybe some changes that need making, there's definitely some poor players here. I mean, Cheranov, he's worth 2.6 million. I'm keeping him around because he's Russian, but at this point, maybe that's not worthwhile. Now, the bulk of my midfield, it's been Russian, and it will stay Russian for as long as possible. I'm probably going to look to change out and swap out some players, but for me, we're instantly going to look for more Russian players. We have to do that. I don't really have a choice, but there's definitely some players in this squad that are not worth having around. Rasmus Falk should play a huge part, hopefully, next season. Vlasic is going to be the issue. He needs to be replaced. Oh, we need to sign him. And I think he's going to be too expensive. Unless he gets put on the transfer list, Everton have no intentions of using him. And we'll go in for him. I prefer not to loan him again, but he'd be the full budget. He would be the full budget, so we're really going to have to look and scrimp and scrape to see what we can do to try and make that signing. Now, Falk can play very comfortably. in the wing positions, and I'll play him there, and so can Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson's had a good season for us. I do like him. He has performed very well. The injuries hit him hard, but hopefully when he gets back, he'll be nice and fit for the start of the season and looking good again. But we definitely need rotation then in those wing positions, because the Russian players we have in wing positions are not very good. Krill. Vitaly actually came into the squad and played really well, but let's be honest, he's never really going to be a key part or a key cog in this team. I plan on giving Lasana and Dai similar amounts of games. He had a very good season this year. In fact, I'm really impressed with him. 21 appearances, 15 off the bench, 11 goals, 1 assist. He's been very good for us, the 18-year-old Malawian. So hopefully we can keep improving in that position, and Chalov really takes on the mantle next season and as the lead goal scorer. But as we say, we've got Asmoon, so strikers we don't need to touch. So realistically, we could probably do with 2 wingers. Ignacio comes in at left back, then we'd be fine. We need a replacement goalkeeper for Akinfeev for seasons to come, because he's 33 now. I want to get somebody in who's Russian. And then maybe just some young Russian players that we can improve throughout the seasons. It'll be interesting to see what we can do. But I'm very, very excited to see what might progress as the season goes on. But anyway, guys, I've babbled on enough. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. Feel free to smash that like button. It really helps out this small YouTuber on the YouTube algorithm. If you're new around here, smash that subscribe button. Subscribers are coming in quite frequently recently. Thank you very much. I'm massively enjoying it. I'm really enjoying these saves as well. I hope you guys are. And I will see you in the start of our second season with CSKA Moscow.